Static remains. Hollow reflections, ghosts in the cold.
That was a strange little hiccup there. I don't know what that was about. But we're live. Welcome to the show. YouTube decided to be problematic out of nowhere. Anyway, how's everybody doing today? Happy Monday. Yeah, it was weird because I was watching it, obviously, and it said disconnected from YouTube, reconnecting, and nothing changed on my end. Stream didn't go down, just lost connection to YouTube. Oh well. So much for that cool new intro to get butchered by connectivity. What else is new? Everything fun in life gets ruined with by connectivity. Oh dear. Anyway, welcome to the show. Or so I'm going to call it. That. Today we're going to be testing a comparison of Rennsport and Project Motor Racing, since it's a big question I get from console players, which is better, this, that, and the other thing. So today we're going to be comparing them in the only real way, in my opinion, that they can be compared, and that is the online rank system, because that's really all Rennsport has. So, first, I think we'll jump into Rennsport. We'll see where we're at time-wise, because there are certain races that I want to do in Rennsport, and there are certain races that I want to do in Project Motor Racing, and they're both separated by a good amount of time in between races. So let me jump into Rennsport first, get kind of an idea as to where we are, and then we'll go from there. Oh, hold on. Got to sign in. And we're in. All right. Let's see where we're at on the contest screen here. So they're currently running Monza. Perfect. I'm not in a Monza mood. I probably won't be doing that race at all. So let's go. Boom. All right. So the next race is the Nordschleife, and that is at 11:35. So we got about 27 minutes or so. Now let's see when Daytona is, because I'd rather race Daytona, if I'm being honest with you. Daytona's at 12:15. So let's jump over to PMR and see where we're at with PMR. What's going on, Final? It's the easiest thing to call you. Final sector, FS, FS25. Well, we got to figure out ways to, like 225 racing is 225, till I figure out something easier to say. So let's see what the available races are in this one. Oh, wrong thing. Totally wrong thing. Multiplayer. All right, so first race is in 23 seconds. We're not going to do that one. GT3. We're going to stay away from GT3s for a minute. I need a break, if I'm being honest with you. Let's see. I tried this race. The Porsche 992 you absolutely need a setup for, in my opinion anyway. It's a very rough default setup car. Let's see. We've got, in 10 minutes, we have the MX-5 Sprint. This is the race that I really want to do, although I wish it wasn't. Where'd it go? I wish it wasn't on this track, personally, but it is what it is. Then there's this one. Prototypes. Then there's the Sebring, the GT in an hour. So, all right. $12:15 is Daytona. So we got an hour for the Rennsport race in Daytona. I think what we might do then is jump into Nordschleife and then jump into this GT race. I think that'd be the only one we can catch. Because we got an hour and 5 minutes till this race. And then what did I say was at 11:35. So 25 minutes from, or 15 minutes from now. No, I'm right. 25 minutes. Numbers are hard, guys. Leave me alone. 25 minutes from now, we have a 3-lap race at Nordschleife. That's going to be real close. Real close. What we'll do is we'll set a timer. I don't want to miss them. So let's do 1 hour. And we'll just do 1 hour timer. Boom. There it is. 1 hour timer. Let's jump over to the Nordschleife and get that race going. What's going on, Pedro? Cool. Appreciate it. Appreciate it, Final. All right, so 7 Waves. I don't know how I feel about this song. My buddy's in the process of making me a bunch of music via AI because of how ridiculously easy it is. He's actually a DJ who makes real music, and he's been trying out some AI tools for simplistic reasons, and it's actually, he's like, it's bad how easy it is. All right. I don't know what kind of music you guys are into, but when it comes from like a streaming standpoint, I've always been into the synthwave stuff. That's what just relaxes me. I know this music doesn't seem relaxing to some people, but for me, it's therapeutic. So how many registrants? Number of drivers, just 1 so far. This is what sucks about this, man. Rennsport's actually got a decent stability system and a very simple layout. Get in the race, get going, and get it over with, you know? No dilly-dallying. LMU, I feel like you got to read a book, an instruction manual of how to play the game without making any mistakes. They should just get in and go, you know? This is definitely the better casual experience. I'll say that over LMU. LMU is more of the die-hard experience. Let's hope Let's hope the next PMR patch really patches up some of the netcode issues. It sounds like, from what I've heard, a lot of it's going to be better, but there still might be some dropouts here and there, which is, it's almost impossible to have no dropout issues. I mean, hell, just booting up this stream today, for no reason, it lost connection to YouTube and then reconnected. Luckily, I didn't have to start the stream over. There's nothing worse than when you have to start a stream over from a connectivity issue, because you completely kills the stream momentum. But, what's going on, Dan? But yeah, I'm willing to keep on trying with the LMDH setups, but I do know that they are actively working on making that car not what it is. It's the only LMDH in all the sims that has the problems that it has. LMU doesn't have snap oversteer. This is like not really the most authentic experience in my opinion. I've never driven one, never will drive one, but I imagine they're still harder to drive than this. You know, I use LMU as probably the best comparison example for the LMDHs, because I don't think iRacing's got it right either. I think iRacing's on the opposite end of the spectrum, way too hard for no reason. But I think LMU is right where they should be for difficulty versus how well the cars grip. And the easiest way to like sort of feel out the LMDH issues in PMR is turn TC off and just accelerate through turns. You can't break the tires for you under throttle. First gear, second gear, it doesn't matter. With no TC, the car's got insane grip. The second you let out of the throttle and then downshift especially, it's like someone pulls the e-brake. Now, I assure you there's more load on the tires when you're putting 700 horsepower to them versus decelling. So there's definitely some programming issues in the car at its core, not setup. Yes, the setup can band-aid a lot of things, but the car itself has some issues in the code that needs to get sort of dialed in. And I hope they get somewhere with the next patch, because I would like to drive them in PMR more without feeling like I'm just being punished. Because the problem with them is that they give you the sensation that you can push because they grip so well. And then you just go to slow down on a turn and you crash out of nowhere. It doesn't feel balanced at all. iRacing feels balanced even though it's hard, because you feel like you're always near the limit. You can't push the car at all. So even though iRacing is harder, it's more predictable. So you have less chance of crashing. PMR, I crash the absolute most in the LMDHs. All right, so we got 17 minutes. I guess we can do a warm-up blast. See how much of a shit show multi-class is. What's going on, ETR? Yeah, I haven't experienced any of the audio issues, but I can definitely understand the disconnect nonsense. Hopefully this next patch really... I don't expect the next patch to fix it all, but let's hope it... Like this, you can't even do this in the LMDHs and PMR. What I'm doing right now. What? Y'all saw that, right? That's the AI. What? The AI crashed. So, real quick, this is sort of my opinion on the matter. But when you don't have a car balanced right, so difficulty, like if the car is too easy to drive, or like you have, let's just say hypothetically, realistic is right in the middle. The problem is we don't know what realistic is. Realistic is right in the middle for the LMDH. If you had to have the car programmed wrong, in my opinion, I think you should program it to be easier than more difficult if you're going to get it wrong. Because there's still a lot of fun to be had in a car that's like kind of too easy to drive. It's a bit arcadey, but at least there's fun there. But a car that is programmed incorrectly and leans into difficulty becomes not fun to drive, where you're just being punished, where you can just get in something else and it's not that much of a punishment. So for me, if you can't make the car 100% authentic, lean into it being more fun and easier to drive. Just my opinion. I know there's going to be a lot of people who disagree with that because people want to be challenged in everything they do. There's always challenge. If the car is easier to drive, it doesn't mean there's less challenge. It just means the car itself independently is harder to drive. Everybody else drives the same car. So if the car is easier to drive, it's easier to drive for everybody. So the challenge is still there when racing. Anyway, point of that is this car is very easy to drive, yet it's fun. I get in iRacing and it's very hard to drive. It's not fun. And neither, I think, are realistic. I feel like splitting the difference would put this car right where it's supposed to be. Anyway, carry on. I forget this turn. I'm never going to get it. I'm never going to get that turn. You can stay wide open throttle through that turn. Oh, do I like the BMW car? In the LMDHs, the BMW is my second favorite. The Cadillac's my number one, but the Cadillac is not in Rennsport. The biggest problem with netcode, it's really hard to test without using the people. All right, I don't need to warm up anymore. We'll just wait. I'm not, why does it default me back to a GT3 car? It's already been selected. No sound from the car? You mean to tell me this whole time there's been no noise? No music playing? No nothing? Baron, thank you for being the first person to mention that to me. Music in the game has been playing the whole time, but Streamlabs, the audio was muted. So I was hearing everything the way you guys should have been hearing it. But naturally... Oh, man. You know when I brought up the whole thing about my buddy working on music for me? Well, it's been playing this whole time. One day, I'll figure out this streaming thing. One day. At least I wasn't muted, though. I can't play Prodigy. I can't play any licensed music. This is all created music. None of this is copywritten. Oh, I appreciate it, Baron. I wish more people would tell me if there's, you know, issues. Yeah, just know, guys, I will pretty much always have music playing in the background of my streams. Maybe different volumes, but for the most part, there's going to be music of some kind. What's going on, Dan the Man? Yeah, what I was saying is synthwave music for me is very therapeutic. It passes the silence quite well. Flowing in that like 110 BPM beat. A lot of this music too I haven't heard. Just let it roll. I could be trolled too. Could say a whole bunch of bad shit and I wouldn't even know it's coming. So we got 6 minutes. Looks like we got 3 potentials, or 2 potential opponents. Yeah, unfortunately, even in with the, you know, the bad netcode right now of PMR, it's easier to fill lobbies. It's harder in Rennsport. I actually don't, I'll be honest with you, I don't know why the Rennsport numbers are as low as they are. because there's not really anything wrong with it. Yeah, it doesn't have a lot of content, but it plays fine. So for console players, you would think that there'd be more people playing this. I understand why PC players don't play it. They have more popular, bigger games, you know? But the console players, like, this is a solid choice for just some online ranked race car play, you know? But I think a big thing that hurts Rennsport, if I had to guess, is people are attached to, like, personality. They want things to feel like it's their own personal thing. And this game has none of that. No customization of any kind. There's some liveries here and there, but they're very Call of Duty-like. There's just not a lot of, like, personal substance in this game, is what I would say. It's fun to play, but I don't really know if I even care about, like, the leveling system here for, like, the ranking. Like, I'm indifferent to it. It's whatever. These numbers, I'm silver this. You start with a the question mark, then you go to bronze, then you go to silver, then you go to gold. Which game is most populated online? Believe it or not, PMR has a lot more people online playing. The stability of online racing is far better in Rennsport, but the quantity of people playing is much higher in PMR. All right, we got 3 minutes, and then after that, there's the race we want to be in is in 37 minutes, which means if I can't finish this race, I'm gonna back out because I want to get in that other race. I think a lot of it comes down to the content of PMR. I mean, that's what I like about PMR, is the content, the old cars. By the way, how is the, I tested it earlier, should be fine, but how is this volume for background music versus my voice speaking to you? I'm going to turn it up a little bit when I'm racing, because I'm really not going to be talking much, and for me, the music car balance is a nice little zone into the race. I don't know how you guys are, but I do everything better to music. Because like the music almost pulls you out of the moment of whatever it is you're doing, and then reinserts you without, I don't want to say caring, but you just focus more on the rhythm of the music and less on what you're doing. But it doesn't pull you away from what you're doing to make you worse at it. Just kind of like, it takes the edge off, you know? That's just me anyway. I make the same argument for having one beer. Takes the edge off, you know? Dulls your senses just enough to take the edge off. I'll be very interested to see what the landscape of all of these sims looks like in about 6 months. Or better yet, yeah, about middle of summer. I'll be very curious to see what the landscape is for all of the sims. Because, I mean, not for nothing, guys. Did anybody pay attention to what happened with Race Room this weekend? It's very easy to roast PMR, but Rennsport had a similar issue where they had a major a Daytona race, and they had to cancel it because of connectivity issues. And the thing is, the one major difference was the entire consumer base for that game understood and was like, no problem, not a problem, we get it, things happen. And then you've got the PMR community that wants to light them on fire. But Race Room had a very similar issue this weekend, and they had to cancel a major race. No, never mind. There's 2 PC players. 3 PC players. Never mind. All right, boys. Have a good, clean race. A lot of trolls in Rennsport. That's fine. I mean, that sucks for you. I get it. Me, I couldn't care less about my my rating. I just want to have some good racing, you know? The ranking thing is cool for people who like me personally. That's why I'm saying this is like a casual's perspective, you know? There are guys, obviously, that care a lot about ranking, understandably so. For me, I can only do so much, you know, before... Please tell me I'm not... Okay, I was going to thought there were 2 more hypers in there. I'm going to wait on the practice portion here. It's only a minute and a half. I don't know why the practice sessions are uselessly short. Like, 2 minutes on the Nordschleife, the 24-hour Nürburgring. What are you going to do with that? I'd say, oh, it's so you can practice leaving the pits. Well, you don't leave the pits in the race or the quali. But either way, this is sort of a quick review, today's stream, of the ranked play of both games. And I would love to say just ignore the connectivity issues of ranked and PMR, but unfortunately, you can't do something like that. You have to compare things as they sit. Now, yes, I could revisit this again after the next patch for PMR. But worst case, we do it before and after, you know? Content's content, boys. That's the great thing about updates. Resets the content. Recycle everything. Just hopefully there's measurable differences to make the content feel like it means something rather than I'm just doing the exact same thing with the same problems. You know? I drooled, I guess. I think I'm going to skip quali, too. I know that's... No, you know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to skip quali. Because we're trying to do a review-style system here. I'm going to turn the music up just a tad. So I can zone in and get to some racing. Alright, here we go. I gotta remember, stay wide open right here. I always let out. Look at that. Look at that. Sloppy, but better than letting out. Longitudinal is front to back. Latitudinal is side to side. Like longitudinal grip would be like straight line acceleration grip. Latitude would be how much grip you have going sideways. Like the tires sideways. Downshifting this car feels so much better because it actually does what seamless downshifting should do. It's seamless. You don't feel it. That's the idea. Oh, shit. All right. That's our quali. Qualified 728. About 13 seconds up from the second place guy so far. And we'll see what he gets. Out of 4 GT3 ranked races, he got throttle bug first race, auto retired second race, raced, failure connect. Yeah, it's rough. So we came in 1 minute in front of this guy and 13 seconds in front of him. So ideally, if we can just race clean and on pace and not get killed in turn 1, we should do pretty good. But you never know. Qualifying is not what's important. I have no idea, Captain Crunch. I have not played with any of that in this. I imagine you can probably adjust some of the camera movement in the game. All right, here we go. Race time. Long race. Although we got 23 minutes to race against the clock. All right, that was the hardest part. Right there, getting away from the crowd and that first little S-curve, chicane, whatever. All right, let it sing. Trying to push. It's not working. This is my opinion about video games for everyone. Myself included, don't let anybody's opinion dictate your opinion. If you play something and like it, continue to play it. Forza, whatever. If you play the free version, it sucks. Of Rennsport. Don't waste your time with the free version. Either buy the game or just don't. You know? And then go based off of the purchased version if you like the game or not. You got 2 hours to kind of figure it out. If you want your money back, that is. If I have time today, Pedro, I will, but I'll be completely honest with you. I expect the patch to change the cars entirely, so I don't really feel like messing around too much with current setups when it's not going to matter in potentially a couple days. Potentially, I don't know. Well, depends on what they do with the patches. I can tell you that LMDHs are actively being worked on behind the scenes, though. So, I wouldn't get too obsessed with, like, the setups on them right now, because it's going to change. I'm gonna have to put my racing shoes on. My braking foot is slipping off the pedal every time with my slippers on. But as far as video games go and liking them, one of my favorite video games that I've played in a long time is Alan Wake 2. And that game did horrible from a consumer standpoint. I don't give a shit who likes it. I think it's incredible. And that's how everything should be for you. If you enjoy a game and someone else says they don't, that's fine. But you shouldn't not play it because someone else says they don't like it. Yeah, there's all sorts of views. It's really only iRacing that limits you. There's your bumper cam. Getting warm. One lap to go. Understeer. That hurt me. How's the music to game audio balance? I'm jamming out, but I know some people really like to hear audio more than music, but it's really more for me while I'm racing. Good balance? Alright. That's what I like to hear. This will really just be for racing. I'll turn the music down when we're just chilling. And I can actually communicate a little better. Now we're not going to make the race. Shit. Oh well. We'll wait for the next one. Actually, we might make it. I lied. We might make it. I just have to get out of this immediately. Yeah, synthwave for me is therapeutic. So we got 30 seconds on second place, and it looks like third place rage quit. So, hey, let's just play it safe. Well, that ain't it. Whoa, what was that bump? Uh-oh, uh-oh. I don't know what just happened there. Something disrupted the chassis. She was not happy there. Alright, let's play it safe. We lost our lap time, so let's just drive it safe. Get to the finish. Yeah, I'm usually pretty confident that if I can get out of the first chicane, turn 1 and 2 in this 24-hour Nordschleife, or Nürburgring, sorry, that my pace will keep me in front of most of the player base. Obviously, there's going to be faster people. There always are. This is going to be tight, that's for sure. Getting the PMR race. We have about 5 minutes to join the race. I think we got it, though. All right, GG's, boys. Take that dub. Boom. All right, we got a win there. Just beat my timer. I'll see how that helped my ranking later. Let's get over to PMR. Also, GT class requires a round wheel. Look at that, boys. We did it by 2 minutes. All right. All right, I'll be right back. I gotta take my hoodie off and go to the bathroom. Now, I think we might actually take the GT wheel for a rip instead of the round wheel, because I think this car has a round wheel, but we've also got the GT, so I kind of want to try that. I haven't used it yet. See how it feels. I do like GT wheels a lot. They're like they're essentially a hybrid between your Formula and your round wheel. Shout out Simagic, by the way. All right, welcome back, Oil Slick. You missed us take the dub in Rennsport. Wasn't a whole lot of people to race against, but there were two others in my class, and I won. I think they both rage quit, or no, one rage quit. The other guy had to pit, but I was off. He was off the pace by about 12 to 14 seconds, so still a win. Coming here for a break. Where you been? What are you taking a break from? Baron Blitz, thank you for the sub. I appreciate that, buddy. Let me turn the music down for a little bit here. Just till we're ready to do some actual racing. I have the feeling this game's going to be punishing. So we got a 15-minute qualifier, followed by 20 laps. Waiting on one person. Are they going to make it in? Well, I'm in, and that's all that matters. At least for me, anyway. Never used this wheel, so we're trying it out. Alright, we're going, do I have a setup? I think I do, but yeah, it's already loaded. So let's cycle the tires quick. 20 laps. Do we want to go mediums or softs? I feel like we're probably going to want to go mediums. Let's see how the mediums feel. H pattern for this. Oh, we got a bugged brake. Let's go back to the pits. Alright, brake's not bugged anymore. Whoop. Give them a little distance. Go! Go faster! So, does that mean the build quality is good? I don't know if I like this wheel with the H pattern. I really feel like a round wheel is mandatory with an H pattern. How much fuel do we recommend for this race? Because I'll just fill it right up. I don't really care. I'll just fill it up then. I don't care if it slows me down, truly. I'm not here to win, I'm here to just race. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go round wheel. I just don't like the GT wheel for taking my hands off it. Shouldn't have grabbed that last gear. That slowed me down quite a bit. Well, I just avoided my track. They gotta make that adjustment there at Sebring. That's the only one I think that's problematic on Sebring. Is that last turn. I don't know if I want that guy behind me in the race. No, that's not good. Alright, let's go back to the pit. This guy can't even drive in the pit. Yeah, we definitely want the round wheel for one-handing. Definitely don't like any other wheel. It's too narrow right here. Right there. Too narrow. It's got good grip, but it actually beats up on your hand because you have to one-hand it so much. All right, so let's give me it all. Give me all the fuel. I know it's too much, but I'm just not that concerned about it, that's all. See, like, the thing is, if I go too much fuel, I just don't ever have to worry about ever needing fuel. I understand it'll slow me down, but... Alright, so 1 lap, 0.9 gallons. So as far as I'm concerned, I need 20 gallons for a little safety net. That's best. That was best case. That's what that says. Fuel used best recorded lap was 0.8. Yohaz, I don't have a preference. Depends on the year, if I'm being honest with you. Alright, Os, look, tell me how much fuel to put in. All right. So, should go 17 gallons. For some headroom. Gives us 1 lap headroom. I didn't say 22 wasn't too much. I said it was an amount of fuel that I don't have to worry about fuel. But yes, you were right on your number. That is a nice little feature. It kind of takes the guesswork out of it. In my opinion, it's... I kind of like the guesswork. You got to makes it more authentic. You got to learn. Although I'm sure in real life they have the same tools, so it's not that big a deal, but... Question is, are we going to get 20 laps out of the mediums? Is it dramatic? If it's dramatic, Glaive it. I don't even want to look. If it's kicking off because it's good information, then sure. But if it's drama, I'm good. Flavor of the minute. I should what? Always drama? Yeah, it's always drama. The biggest factor in me retiring from real racing was drama. Combine drama with losing my edge for the whole risk to reward factor in real racing. Yeah. That's just routine day to day. Stay in my lane. I learned last week, stay in my lane when it comes to the internet. It doesn't matter how rational you try and think of a situation. You'll just become the bad guy to someone, so best to just stay out of it, you know? I don't understand the lack of communication. That's the one thing that's like, to me, that is a massive level of entitlement from the community standpoint. Saying that the devs aren't communicating, I've never seen devs communicate more. And they're doing exactly, I agree, they're communicating too much. They're almost like fueling the fire against themselves by communicating. As soon as you give the squeaky wheel the grease, it just wants more grease, nonstop. Just let it squeak until it breaks, then move on. I'm telling you, whenever you cater to the mob, the negative mob, you'll never stop catering to them. So, there's valid points in the negativity, for sure, but it's the beating the dead horse of the issues, and we get it. We know the game has problems. Repeating the same problems inside of the same patch cycle, there's not really a whole lot of point to doing it. I know, announcement of an announcement of an announcement of an announcement. Yeah, my opinion, like, people want something that is unachievable. What people want in their sim, I'm sorry, I hate to break this to the guys who play video games, because I play video games as well. Just go buy a real car and get involved in the sport in real life. You're never going to get what you want unless you just do the real thing. I've been fortunate enough to do the real thing. I'm down for just playing video games at this point. There's fun to be had in every sim. Doesn't matter how simple or complex it is. I'm actually going to go to the bathroom quick before this race starts, just so I don't have to go mid-race. Right. I feel like, I mean, I hope not, because I have nothing against AC, but I feel like AC Evo is not going to deliver. They're just trying to do too much, in my opinion. This is ranked, yes. So far, no problems, but this is also my first race. So. What's going on, Fway? I don't know how I got this far up the pole when I didn't qualify. This is what I'm talking about. This is definitely one of the bugs that just exists. I don't want to be in the middle. Last thing I want to do is be in the middle. and get sandwiched. This guy in this vet I knew was going to be a problem. Look at him. Look at him. I feel like he's going to be a problem right here, too. Alright, now I don't have to worry about that vet. Now I can attempt to actually race him. Sorry for the C6. I didn't mean to pinch you there, but... Here's what I expect AC Evo to be one of the best sims ever made in time. I guarantee you it is... Oops, missed the gear. It is problematic on release day. Oh my god, I didn't stop sliding right there. I don't know what that was about. This is GT, not GT1. I'm in the Murcielago right now. What do you mean by you can't pass the test? Like it's broken and won't let you pass, or you can't win the race? Because winning the race does not necessarily mean you pass the test. It's not designed to be won. Yeah, I'm not really focusing on the ranked until they fix all the online problems. I'm just jumping in and testing it out to compare. I have not done any real ranked in this game. In fact, this might even be my second ranked race since doing the test. And I think I DNF'd the first one. I do think we're going to have a good game here. I really do. I just don't know when it's going to be where we have everything. We kind of make this game sort of like a really, really, really fun competitive game, you know? Because it's my style of game. It just needs time. And that's the problem, is that people don't have the patience to give the time it needs to finish the game. They really shot themselves in the foot by saying it wasn't in early access at launch, when it's clearly early access, you know? Because now everybody just, no matter how much you tell them it's not a 1.0 game, even though, yes, they advertised it that way, it's clearly early access. It doesn't matter. People expect 1.0, and they expect each patch to make it 1.0, and it's not going to be the case. The next patch is not going to fix every problem you want fixed. Absolutely not. Like, they're already working on the next 2 patches right now. Things that they're not confident are good enough to make it into this patch will make it in the next patch. And there's going to be a patch after that, and a patch after that, and a patch after that. Pick your favorite sim. It's still getting patched. The biggest thing, though, that's breaking people right now with this game, and the only thing that can break me, is the online disconnect stuff. Other than that, though, they'll pick your favorite problem, and it's really not that big a deal. I'm just trying to go for a nice steady pace. I'm not trying to catch Pedro or Artistic there. I'm just going for, hey, let's maintain a pace. Let's drive the car. The car is not set up well. It has a boatload of rear downforce, which is killing my, and it's got low tire pressure, so we have absolutely no straight line performance right now. But I don't care. I'm just in it to drive. The fuck? Explain that one. What the hell was that? The AI is bad! AKA, that's a human driver. Oh, I definitely got punted. There's no doubt I just got punted. The question is, why did I get punted? Yeah, play with the adjustment set screw on that sequential as well. I would really love to know why I got punted right there. Look at how little straight line power I have right now. I have the car set up like it's a Nordschleife run. It's usually how I set up all my cars because that's my favorite track. AI is definitely simulating the online player base, that's for sure. The thing is that once you play iRacing's AI, their adaptive AI that is, they all suck. There is no good AI that I've experienced. iRacing's is so much better than the rest of them, it's not even funny. That's the one, like, real compliment I can give to iRacing. The AI, the adaptive AI is just good. Oh, don't pay attention to the Discord. Trust me, you saw all the drama that I was in last week just for voicing my opinion on it. Just don't ignore it. Let it go. It's not worth it. Just involving yourself at all makes you the bad guy. Whether you're right or wrong, it doesn't matter. Just having an opinion, just don't waste your time. Probably should have pulled more brake pressure out of this thing, or line pressure. Still locks up the tires relatively easily. Yeah, my biggest thing with the setups right now is I don't want to go... I know that the online community of the game is, like, very competitive with that. But, like, for me, the game keeps changing the cars. So it just... Like, I would work towards making my own setups and trying to learn it on my own if it weren't for the fact that the cars change every patch. If I would say right now that the game is not going to change fundamentally and all the cars are going to drive like this forever, then it's time to get into the setups, you know? But knowing the next patch, we don't know what cars are going to get adjusted, because there were cars that got changed in the last patch that weren't even mentioned in the patch. All right, just come on by. Come on by. Come on by. You clearly have the faster speed, so just do it. Oh no, I'm in first. God damn it. H pattern life. Can't money shift the sequential. That's what I get. All right, now we got a nice, comfortable 32-second lead on the next guy, so let's just have a nice, relaxing pace. and try and not destroy this car. Although I am absolutely not stopping very well right now. Do I think racing sims are getting too complicated too fast? I don't necessarily think complication is a bad thing. I think the lack of explanation with the complication is a bad thing. Because in real life, you have the ability to, like, use resources to learn things that you don't know about. And sort of like these sims like LMU or whatever, you just get thrown into the fire, you gotta figure it out. Like, that would never happen in real life. You know all the things you fundamentally have to do before your first race. And a lot of people be like, oh, you're just trying to get people to hold their hand. Like, that's real life. You want realism, commit. You can't pick and choose your part of your realism and leave out other aspects. You know? Like, giving someone instructions on what to do does not make it an arcade game. That being said, though, as far as the setups go, back on that quick, I do hope the game sooner than later gets to a point where the default setups are good and they're balanced and everybody's happy, so they stop changing them so setups can actually be developed and stay consistent. The problem, though, is that there's always going to be a meta. So once someone figures out a setup that's good, that's all that people are going to use, which is why I will always make the argument for fixed setups. It's just like Call of Duty. Once you find the meta, everybody just runs the meta, so it doesn't matter. It's the same concept. It's that same dude. Aston's 155, nice. I don't even know what my lap time is. I have not paid attention. I have paid so little attention to my lap times. The only ones I actually, like, have a mental note of my lap times is the Nordschleife. It's the only track I care about to be competitive on. And, like, I don't know if that will ever change. I shouldn't say I don't think it'll ever change, but it's just my track. It's my absolute favorite track. It is the hardest, most punishing track to learn, and it's the only one I've spent real time on. And it's just so much fun. Watkins Glen's another one of my favorite tracks that's just not in this, unfortunately. Watkins Glen is a relatively easy track, but that doesn't mean it's not competitive. Oop. Am I competitive on Nords? Define competitive. Do I try? Yes. Am I decent at it? Yes. Are there faster guys? Yes. From a how good I am at driving on it standpoint, of all the tracks, I am the best on Nordschleife. I've got like 1,000 hours in just Gran Turismo on Nordschleife. Just building street cars and taking them around the track. And the thing is yes, it's a completely different driving game, but learning the track is something that is, as long as the track is scanned somewhat comparable, you don't really unlearn the track. You just get used to driving the cars and then know how to adapt it to that track. I would say the other thing that I'm somewhat competitive in is the GTOs. I like driving the GTOs so much that I actually like try to learn that car. Whereas this, like, yeah, whatever. I also think the GTO class is the only realistic car class in all of sim racing. I don't know how much experience a lot of you guys have with driving cars that are rear-wheel drive that make a good amount of power. But they're not that hard to drive. When the ass kicks out, you can drive through it. In sim racing, it's like an impossible thing. The GTO class in this game, however, it's actually really easy and predictable to drive through oversteer. It's a refreshing feeling. Need second. This is also why I don't like to endurance race. I'm getting bored. My car's slow, I'm slow, there's no one around me. I'm just doing solo laps. I'm pretty sure everybody behind me's rage quit. So it's really just top 4 guys, and I'm 4th. And there's one guy here that I think is trolling. I don't really know what he's doing, honestly. I've lapped him a couple times already. He's the one who punted me. I don't know what he's doing. He's just here, I guess. Checking out the scenery, maybe? See, like that. Cars don't do that. Cars just don't do that. They don't just... The ass doesn't get a little loose, and then the tires just never regrip. That, for how much that car got some oversteer and was sliding right there, the tires would regrip and stop the car from sliding. They just don't. Cars just continue to slide. And it is like the most painful part of sim racing, where I think there is a massive lack of realism. And that's where the GTO class absolutely shines. So easy to drive through that, which is like a real car. You'd be surprised, though, Baron, how many people don't know Nords, like, at all. It's almost like they are afraid of it, and they'll beat me on other tracks, no problem. And then when we get on Nords, they have no pace. In my opinion, it's the only fun track solo. Like, I still to this day don't know why Monza is such a popular track. Because I think it is the most boring track. Or one of them, anyway. But see, like, right now, I have 7.5 more laps. And I'm bored. Realistically, the position's not going to change unless one of the guys up front thoroughly messes up. There's nobody behind me racing. So for another 7 laps, I get to race to come in last place. I need to at least play some music to wake myself up. Since it doesn't seem to matter. Let's get some music rolling here. Alright. Music will at least help me get through it. What is this guy in this Lister Storm doing? I'm so confused. Now I'm in third. I have no idea, because the mirrors are doing absolutely nothing for me right now. I'm looking up at the clouds. Nice. How'd it go, Rowdy? Officially able to jerk off again, or what? Light duty for a week. How do you even do your job as light duty? It requires your hands and physical labor. There's the Lister Storm again. Sunday drive, I suppose. Nice. You'll get more and more of those randomly as you get older. It's like all the garbage we put in our body has to go somewhere. I don't know if that front right tire is going to make it, but I'm not changing it, so... I don't even see the car mirrors. I mean, it accurately represents my height, though. If I got in the car and someone tall was driving it. Still can't see. I don't know why he hasn't left yet. You think he's just biding his time to get points? Yeah, the graphics are slowly being polished, but they still need some good amount of work. But the graphics are there. They're just not clear, and there's a lot of artifacting, but they're getting there. Sebring has a little too much saturation to it. They got to turn down some of the exposure, in my opinion. Nighttime lighting is broken. Doesn't work at all. That's why I don't do any nighttime racing in this. It looks pretty bad. So they still got a lot of things to fix, but that, in my opinion, that shit's not priority. Sorry, sir. I only speak English. But I see Simagic in there, so I can at least read that. What? All right, last lap. Yeah, this race would have been a lot more fun if there was a fixed setup option. Because I can't even get anywhere near any level of like competitive pace with a default car. In fact, the only things I've done to this car make it slower, but more stable. But it's too slow. More downforce, less tire pressure. Lambo on fixed, 156. And well, keep in mind, I've slowed it down. I guarantee you, I'm not under 2 minutes right now. Tire pressure alone. I'm running minimum tire pressure. And I can tell you in the LMDH on Monza, going from fixed tire pressure to default tire pressure loses you about 12 miles per hour in the backstretch. Like right here, I'm just not moving. Nice overtake. This guy's gonna beat me. Oh, I was close though. Yeah, 201. Knew I wasn't under 2. Nah, I was shit driving, but thank you. Thanks anyway. Crank down some of this music a little here. All right. Yeah, a lot of people did drop. I don't know if they quit intentionally or what, but yeah. That was all right. I mean, it wasn't bad. It just, the part that sucks is that you have to spend so much time with figuring out setups on cars and stuff. That's why I'm such a fan of fixed setups, because it's like, all right, let's see who's the fastest drivers. You know, get in the same car, take it around the same track with the same parts, and see who goes the fastest. You know? Because now, like, for me to even consider wanting to compete in any of these events, I have to have a setup car. Because everybody else has a setup car. And whether they're faster than me or not is almost irrelevant. And yes, a setup car is part of realism. I don't think it should be taken out by any means. But there should be an option, at least maybe not in ranked, but in at least in some like casual stuff. You should have a fixed slider button so no one can change anything. Yeah. How did you send something that you were supposed to send to your wife to a YouTube chat? Yeah, I agree, Yohazm. I think that general racing would be better with fixed setups. I've always thought that. Bottom line is this, guys. In real life, if you want to see who the faster driver or rider is, if it's a motorcycle, you put the different riders or drivers in the same car or on the same bike. When you build the car, and it's a random vehicle that they've never driven before. Have them turn some laps, whatever it is. Whoever goes the fastest is the best driver. You know? But take it from me. I do the building side of things in real life. I am a very, very, very average rider. Motorcycle rider. There's nothing special about me. However, I win a lot of races because I know how to build the bikes. I know all the things that the best riders just don't know because that's just not their wheelhouse. Literally. If you could eliminate the advantage of understanding the mechanics and how things go faster, you get to real quickly determine who the faster drivers are, and speaking in sim life. But again, that doesn't mean I think they should get rid of fixed setups. I don't at all believe that. I believe that aspect absolutely needs to be in a sim. But they also need the fixed setups as well. Every other sim has them. This does not. Hell, if I were to get onto ranked races right now on Race Room, most of the races are fixed setup for ranked. Yeah, setups in this right now are almost broken simply because a lot of the default setups are broken. They leave so much on the table for setup. They need to get a better balance point for the default setup so that when you mod or when you're setting the cars up, it feels like you're setting them up more for the driver and the track, less so than just to make the cars way faster. You've seen what the MX-5s look like on Daytona. When you change a couple random settings, they go like 5 seconds faster. That just shouldn't be the case, you know? One of the reasons that I'm like relatively quick with the GTOs is because they're so well balanced out of the box. There's not a lot of room for improvement in setup. Of course, there's nothing in ranked, but like this car right here. The hell? Giants Engine 10.0 is not responding. In all fairness, I know why that's happening. I gotta delete the mod. The modded car breaks the game in the car selection window a lot. Mods, right here. This is the test car in the mod folder. What makes a fast team in real life is the team. The best driver doesn't win without a good team. You know? And my whole thing too with setting up the cars is I haven't seen enough data to really prove that the things that I know about real setups actually do what they're supposed to do in the game. Like, I can't remember, I think it was Final Sector who might have been talking about it, who put up a video or something like that of the Miata, or sorry, the MX-5, going way faster mile per hour by raising up the rear end. That's not how that works. In real life. That's not how that works. You don't raise the car up and gain top speed. But it does in this. So there are random things like that that are broken that aren't fundamentally realistic. And you have to know these things. All right, what do we want to check next? What's back in here and see what's in single player. Now that we got the modded car out of there, it should be a little more stable in the car selection. So let's see. Oh yeah, this car right here. Typically, the people who beat me in this car are when I just check out of driving. This car doesn't need a setup. This car is fantastic out of the box. Doesn't need a setup. It just works. We're just going to stress test the system, see if we can get it to crash. So what are suggestions for this car to get it around the track? So let's drive the default car around. I know it's a little twitchy here. I'm going to drop that. But this is default 992 setup. Let's see how this drives. You shitting me? It's already spinning out? This car is so rough. This car without a setup is just like kill happy. But it's got full grip though. Like, this is what the shit I'm talking about. Car has insane level of grip. Wide open throttle through a turn. And then when you're on coast, they just kill you. So many cars are like this and I don't understand it. Sudden loss of rear grip for no reason there. I'll be honest with you, I have not touched a single setting on a Rennsport car. I just drive them. And they all drive great. Like, this game is like a hit or miss with cars. Some cars drive amazing. Other cars drive like total piles of shit in default form. This car is one of them. This is how I fix broken cars. Makes them super slow. Car's way slower now in the straight. That's me. That's my own fault. Can't blame the game for that one. I can't even get off the wall. I don't know what's going on with my wheel. Alright, we're just going to return to the fucking pit. That just pissed me off in a short amount of time. Alright. Cycle the tires. I also don't like the force feedback of the 992. It just feels weird. God, now it just understeers like crazy. But like the way this car drives, you shouldn't need this much of a setup because it still drives terrible. It's just now it's a lot grippier in the rear, but now it's like it wants to push the nose everywhere. All I did was give it rear downforce and lower the tire pressure, but I lowered the tire pressure in all four corners, so I should have more front grip too. Like this car needs a lot of work. It's why I only try and drive the cars that, you know, are pretty well dialed in out of the box. But unfortunately, I don't think there's a whole lot of those, at least in this week's ranked. We'll try and follow this guy's line. Okay. That works too, I suppose. Four seconds off pace. What do you mean by light hands on braking? Appreciate the honesty. Dude, that's the only thing I'll ever do. I might, like I said, I very much could be wrong. But I will never lie. I will always be honest. I just might be wrong. Doesn't mean you should listen to me in everything I say because I'm always right. But I just know that I'm not lying. What I say, I believe. And if I'm wrong, I always appreciate proof. Not just an opinion, you know? I might actually have to miss this race. I think I have to go to the bathroom. I do want to get in a GT1 car. I just don't really like the track. It's the problem. That's what sucks. It's one of my least favorite tracks in this game, and in general. But it's the only one they got for the GT1 this week. Yeah, that's, believe it or not, Fway, that's actually a real-life Porsche thing. It's a real-life Porsche thing. They want to be under load no matter what. No matter what. As soon as you unload the rear end, the rear end swings out. I think that's a big part of why the Porsches all do that in a lot of sims. Is because they're trying to mirror how you can't unload the rear end of a Porsche. I don't know how well they're doing it, but I do know a real-life Porsche, no matter really what model of Porsche it is, you never want to lift off throttle in a turn. The rear end gets light and swings out. You want to keep them loaded up. And it's primarily the load, not the braking. You can stuff the brakes. Or I shouldn't say stuff the brakes, but you can get on the brakes hard. But as long as you're maintaining some level of loading up the drive line, you're not completely unloading the rear suspension. It's more of a problem than it is a good thing with a Porsche. You shouldn't have to do that. But with a Porsche, they are pretty well known for that. Paul Walker. I mean, case in point. I'm actually shocked I didn't come in last place in qualifying. Like, shocked. Because none of that lap was dog shit. I had already checked out of even trying to have somewhat of an efficient lap. And I slapped together a setup, which the setup was just rear wing and a bunch of tire pressure pulled out of it. That's why all the Porsches in GT7, all the older cars, lift off oversteer like crazy. It is a realistic thing. Guy next to me is driving away from me while sitting still. It's amazing how all those lap times go out the window when you put someone next to someone in the competition and people make mistakes. Racing in a pack is really the only way to actually get fast. Lap times are, you know, they're cool to brag about, but they're essentially participation trophies. How you do in a pack is always what matters. Unless all you do is race time trials. Oh. There we go. I tried. Oh, we're still getting hit. We're still getting hit. Come on. I don't care enough. Alright, fuck this. That's what I say about that. That's how much I care about my rankings in this game. I should have slowed down there and tried to wait for a better clearing. I thought I was going to make that clearing, but there wasn't one, so. Perfect, because I'd rather get for this anyway. Yeah, I never got into ranked online with Gran Turismo 7, honestly. I didn't like the drive. The things I liked about Gran Turismo 7 are what I still think are great about Gran Turismo 7, but had nothing to do with ranked. And that was streetcars. Building streetcars. Unfortunately, that's not a thing in just about every other sim. Because the overall driving experience of Gran Turismo 7, I wasn't a fan of. But the game itself was solid. But one of the big things I miss about Gran Turismo 7, and I would actually think it would make a really good stream as well, was building street cars, like the ballistic missile cars, like, 1,500 horsepower or so, and going down the Nordschleife as fast as possible for the fastest lap time. That was some of the most fun I've had in all of video game racing. And only Gran Turismo 7 was able to do that. Yeah, see, have a going, Foy. You gonna play later tonight, Foy, or what? For some open lobbies or nah? See, my thing is that I don't really care much about Group 3 cars at all. And that's not like a Gran Turismo 7 thing. That's every game. I'm not into them. I'm into like fast race cars or very, very, very slow cars that have an interesting dynamic to them. But anything that mirrors somewhat of realism, or not realism, realistic cars, which is, let's face it, that's what GT3 and GT4 are, I'm just not into them. Social director's been tripping? Well, either way, you're invited. Same to you, Pedro. This is a good jam. I like this. I like this beat. Right here. This is the kind of music that I can race to. Let's see what minimum tire pressure is like in this car. God. This is what I'm talking about. This is why I have no interest in GT3. Multitasking. I think the CLK needs to be in every game ever. I love this car. Nice, the other guys are struggling, huh? I absolutely need the line on for this track. I am so bad on this track, it's not even funny. I had a 1.5 second relative drop, not relative, faster lap, and I lost it all in the end there. Do one more. I know I can go 130 relatively easily. I just got to figure the track out more than anything else. Nah, this lap's shit. Fuck it. We're good. I'm good enough. Here's the thing, guys. When it comes to sound, don't compare cars to other sims. Compare them to the real car. In my opinion, for example, the Cadillac LMDH car, LMU and PMR need to combine their sounds. So the sound, the tone of the car in PMR and the pitch of the car in LMU, that's where they need to be. And that would sound just like the LMDH Cadillac. Well, let's do this quick. I'll say this, the CLK, this one here, is definitely higher pitched. So far, I think that's advantage this game. But I'm trying to find an in-cabin sound. Yeah, listen to this sound. Here, listen to this. This is the exhaust from behind, but listen to how high-pitched this is, which tells me that all the other sounds where they're deeper is not accurate. In real life car driving, you don't hear anything at all. You just hear nothing but garbage noise. You're in a helmet, and you're hearing a whole bunch of muted sounds coming through all at once. Nothing sounds good. The reality of what good sound is, like if you wanted realistic sound in a sim, everybody would hate the sound of the sim because it would just sound like noise. You're underwater, it's muffled, it sounds shitty. Trust me. You get the sound, you have a helmet. Anybody ever gone fast with a helmet on? In anything? Motorcycle, car, whatever? It's just nothing but muted, ugly sounds.
You can either go to jail for a year.
The hell? I gotta use the bathroom. I'll be right back. All right. Oh yeah, I gotta do my fuel calculation here. Essentials did what? I know what we're missing. Right there. All right, wish me luck. See, you're in here, Pedro. Good luck. Not that you need it. I need it more than anybody else. But I mean, so far, I know that people are having problems, so this isn't me denying that. So far, 3 for 3. No problems in ranked. One thing that people just don't have down yet is the launch. Launching a car that doesn't have TC. It's pretty easy in this game, if I'm being completely honest with you. Thanks for the re-entry scare there, buddy. I hate these turns. It's a big part of why I hate this track. Come on, buddy. Hit the gas pedal. Why? Why are you hitting me? Why? I hate the way people play video games, man. Look at this shit. What is happening here? All right, hopefully I'm away from the crash happies. Yeah, I got no straight line speed because of the tires, but that was my choice. I knew I was going to blow that because I was in the rumble strip on the brakes. I am so bad on this track. I don't know if I'll ever get good in this track because I don't want to play this track. So I tend to stay away from it. Come on, give me some draft. Give me some draft. That's gonna give me a slowdown, isn't it? Oh, really? Okay. Wasn't expecting that. I don't know if that's legit or not. Pedro, did I hit you at all right there? It didn't feel like I did. It feels like I just went wide and smacked the wall. Just want to make sure I didn't hit you. This guy's very block happy. What? It's all good, Pedro. I'm not even paying attention to where I'm going right now. Oh, come on. All right, I'm done. I can't do rank play. Not built for it. Oh. I hate that track too much. Work too hard to get it kind of like up to the front-ish and then, you know, get punted off. So, let's see where we're at with Rennsport. It's all good, Pedro. That's why I like sprint races. 5 laps and it's over. Let's see. Yeah, that Nissan was definitely, and he was, not to mention too, he was very aggressive on blocking. He was slow through turns and he wouldn't let you by, which I get it, it's a fight, but at the same time, he's going out of his way to block your line. When's the next Daytona? That's really all I want to do for the moment. Perfect. Next one. 4 minutes. Perfect. 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 But not for nothing, though, for not having a setup on that car, I literally just lowered the tire pressure to minimum and raised up the rear wing. And that car was pretty glued on that track, all things considered. And I don't know the track, mind you. I am very, very, very bad on that track. So when I don't know a track, I will always favor grip over speed. So I sacrificed all my speed to try and get as much grip as possible out of the tires. And as much rear downforce. It's all good, Pedro. It's all good. It happens. We needed to get in front of that Nissan so we could have some smoother racing. Because what's his name? The guy, Eek or whatever? He had a nice clear line. The back of the pack was a nightmare. I'd say mid-pack, or podium pack, I'd say was the most fun. Top 4. But... I wish there was more selection in ranked, if I'm being honest with you. Because I love the GT1 cars. They're some of my favorite cars to drive. But that's the worst track for me. I mean, Nordschleife, Daytona, Spa, Mossport, Lexington, or Mid-Ohio. I mean, just about every other track I like better than that track. Even the ones I don't really like. I just don't like this part. When most of your turns are like maintaining some level of throttle, but like you can't be wide open and you can't be off the throttle, and it's just sweepers back and forth, that's just, to me, is boring. This is probably going to be my last race, if I had to guess, based off time. I'm going to get off here in about 45 minutes max, which will be enough to clear this race, and then I won't have time for another ranked race. Wow, a lot of GT3s in here. Yeah, I'm not an Interlagos fan. Not an Interlagos fan in the least. One of my least favorite all-time tracks. My problem is I think the Nordschleife is the perfect track, and that's my benchmark. So anything, I know it's not fair to say anything less than that's not good, because that's obviously not true, but for me, I would race in the Nordschleife every single race, forever. F1 car, Miata, or MX-5, GT3, GT2, GT1, GT, GT4, motorcycle, scooter, go-kart. Oh, you can pass. You can pass, Oil Slick. You can pass. It's all about patience and pace. All you have to do is maintain your line and maintain your pace, and the person in front of you just slip up just a little bit. They don't have to crash. They just got to drift. They have to go too hard into a turn and drift wide, and boom, you got your line to pass them. I actually think it's one of the easier tracks to pass people on if you make the approach that you don't have to be faster than someone. You just have to be patient and wait for them to slip up. And not everybody slips up, and sometimes you just can't get in front of them because they're too fast. But I don't know anybody who's made a perfect lap on the Nordschleife. Schleife. There's always a turn. You think about it like this, Daytona. Very simple track. Look at Daytona Oval, not even with the intercourse. A perfect lap's not easy to get. The grouping of the time from slowest to fastest is a lot tighter, but the fastest lap, the perfect lap, I mean, not that easy to get. And you add all those turns and that dynamic to the Nordschleife, just be patient. Someone's going to make a mistake and you're going to pass them. In GT7, I had some damn good side-by-side races in Nordschleife. Damn good ones. It's really... It's hard to explain, but it's really about managing expectations. You don't try and go... If you are in a pack or with a car, even just one other car, you're not trying to go anywhere near your lap time. Your fastest, I mean. You're trying to go... maintain as much pace as possible while racing in defense-only mode. Both guys have to race in defense, and you'll be shocked how little contact there ever is. It's just good racing. But it requires everybody who's doing it to understand how to do it. If you get one guy who tries to be the guy who goes to pass everybody at any possible opportunity, he's going to crash everybody. He's going to overtake and put you in the wall, and... Same. If I'm like zoned in, not putting pressure on myself, because I will find that once I start making mistakes, I don't stop making mistakes. I completely fall out of my own groove. But if I'm in my own groove, I'm inside of that same 1 second mark every lap on the Nordschleife. And like in GT7 on time trials, I'm chasing thousandths of a second on a car. And I'm right there every time, and I just can't do it. It's crazy how you can, with enough practice, get so consistent. I gotta get in the groove of this. This is like almost no driving whatsoever. This is just stay on the gas. Stay on the gas and then jam on the brake. Like in this game, I chronically underdrive because of how easy the cars work. That was terrible. I forgot my braking zone right there for this car in this game. I couldn't remember if it was 1 or 2, but I don't think it's either. I think it's 1.5. I think I got pole, though, based off of the mini-map. I'm good. What'd you say, Art? Hey, bud, can't remember, but he 3 you played the. I need some help with a redirect on that one, sir. Error, but have you played? I wouldn't say it's easier to play. I'd say it looks better. I mean, I haven't spent a lot of time with it on PS5, honestly. so it's hard to say. But I didn't think it played better. I thought it just, I mean, unless you consider frame rate and visuals playing better, then yes, it plays better for sure. Gameplay-wise, feels the same though. Yeah, you might be feeling the extra frames. Frame rate, because on PS5, the highest frame rate you're getting is 60. On PC, the frame rate's endless. It runs out until you run out of horsepower. Yeah, the thing about the Nords is you have to, one turn at a time, risk crashing. Every single turn, you have to push it to see what the car can and can't do. And you'll not, that's the thing is, once you learn the Nords in any car, like that was the thing about Gran Turismo 7 for me too, is that I would always build a different car and run on the track. I wouldn't, the first time I would ever take a car around Nords, I would not crash it, ever. I'd always underdrive it. It's because I know the track, but not the car. It's always better to go slower and learn from a slow pace than it is to go fast, crash, and dial it back. But unfortunately, you will have to get to a point where you have to push it in every single turn to figure out what the car can and can't do in that turn, to find that car's absolute max pace. I am a huge fan of a one-lap sprint on the Nordschleife. That is like my favorite race, period. One lap, sprint to the finish. Push it as hard as you can. Next song. All right, boys, here we go. Last race of the day. It's like I'm in pole, which is good. I just got to get out of turn one. And the thing is, the GT3 cars are all going to be coming for me on the hit, because this car's going to go nowhere, while the GT3s will leave pretty decent. I gotta figure out how to launch these cars in this game. Because even the LMDH came by me. Oof. That could have been bad. He braked early, I braked late. Trying to find more pace on Daytona with this car. Because you can always do more than you think with this game. Like, that felt so irrational to me. But it didn't crash. If I can make it a little bit smoother, probably come out of the bus stop with a little more speed. Way too early. Yeah, PS6 is, it's going to be, compared to PS5, will feel like a huge step forward, but it's not going to get near flagship PC hardware. It'll beat a lot of the computers, but from a flagship for flagship standpoint, console's never in front of a computer from an experience standpoint. It's just supposed to give you the best possible scenario for an efficient dollar amount. For reference, the graphics card in my computer is literally 10 times as powerful as a PS5. My bad. Just go. Good thing about damage in this game is it barely does anything. Oh, where he's going. Can't park there, sir. What the hell? I don't know what he was doing there. I gave him the space and then he just stopped again. Chat, what's the consensus right there? I went for the inside overtake, realized it was going to be too risky. I hit the brakes, let him get the outside in, and then he just stopped in the bus stop. Yeah, it will be this evening, yeah, Pedro. Probably give PMR one more try before the patch. Here we go. There's our 134. .134 with a damaged car. Guess the car's not that damaged, huh? Different game, though. Can't compare lap times in this game versus PMR. Not with these. These cars were easy to drive in this, remember that. Remember, this is zero changes to this car. This is just getting in whatever they give me and using it. Oh, that was terrible. Luckily, I'm not chasing a lap anymore. I'm content with my 134.4. And I'm pretty confident the other guy quit, so it's just me and a bunch of GT3 cars right now. Eight more minutes of solo laps. Glad you like it. My buddy's been making me this music. It's funny, he's a DJ, so he makes actual music professionally. But he's using AI shit to make this. He's like, this is gonna put a lot of people out of business. Because of how effortless it is to do it. He just puts in words and it makes the beats. He doesn't do anything. And that's what he does professionally. Yep. Half the synthwave you see on YouTube right now is AI. Made with AI, then copywritten. Which I don't even understand how that's possible. But it's the way it is. Nope. AI just takes already existing things that have been established and combines them to make its own thing based off an algorithm. Any originality that comes from AI is other people's originality combined. And the worst part is that it's pretty damn good at it, too. Trying to get around DMCA on YouTube is ridiculous. This makes it easy. Yep, I agree. That's why your computer memory costs 4 times what it did 6 months ago. That's the closest I've been to spinning out all day. And this anyway. Oh, cancel. Cancel run. I guess not. I'm about done anyway until tonight, ETR. You gonna be on? You gonna make another attempt? I'll be giving PMR one more open lobby attempt before the patch. Gotcha. All right, how'd we do? I win a lot of races in this, but not in PMR. Oh, that's funny. This race hasn't posted yet. That's from today, the other one. I wish this Mustang was good in this game, but it's not. Do I know when the next patch is? No. I have a good idea, but I don't know. Have a good one. Oh, man. Good old days. Oh boy. So yeah, we're probably going to do some PMR tonight. Make that be our open lobby game tonight. You know, we'll jump in. We'll do our best to pray that the lobbies work out well. And then hopefully by the next time we play it, we'll have a patch that will further address connectivity issues. But we'll see. Oh, the old days. The old days of being a hooligan. All right, folks. Good little session. So, what do I think is better to play ranked? So here's the thing. My experiences today would tell me PMR is better. Simply because a lot more people doing it. However, there is the underlying issue that ranked lobbies are crashing for people a lot. I don't know if I got lucky today because I don't play ranked a lot, but I did 3 ranked races. They all went smoothly. Outside of, you know, incidents that happened inside the race, everything worked normal, what I would expect. But I do know that that's the minority of the situation. So, in my personal experience, right now, I had more fun in PMR. But a lot of that has to do with the fact that there was not really anybody in Rennsport to compete against. I don't know if I answered anybody's question on what's better. Use maybe some of my visual aid to make your own sort of assessment, but, I mean, I had fun in both, you know? But I don't know, you guys be the judge. That being said, all right, folks, I'm not sure when I'm going to be on tonight. I'm either going to start at like probably 9 o'clock or 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time as usual. The wife's still out of town. And because we're both snowed in at our different locations, I might be able to get on early tonight. So, that being said, PMR tonight, open lobbies. Let's have some fun, and I'll see you then. Until tonight, you guys have a great rest of your day. Take care now.